welcome back to my series where I make something from out of the Netflix cookbook. Today we are doing fresh and crispy ravioli. So, as usual, I'm going to start with the dough. This is just 2 cups of all-purpose flour. You can use 00 semolina flour, but that's not what we have. So, we're going to add our salt into it, and we're going to also add in, hold on, before I add in the egg, I got to add in the olive oil. And it's just a tablespoon of olive oil. I am so glad I remembered that, because baby, this could have went horribly wrong in the very beginning. Okay, so now we just add in the eggs, and you know, this can be made like non-vegan, but that's not what I'm doing here. I am making it vegan so I can eat. I've made ravioli before. I think I'm gonna do the inside a little different. The recipe says that it's supposed to be, what do you call it? Supposed to have like cheese on the inside, but I don't know too many good vegan ricotta cheeses. Now this is the warm water that they tell you to keep on hand just in case. This doesn't come together the way you think it should, and yes, it tells you to use a fork while you are doing this. So I'll more than likely speed up this part while we're doing it, and you see how it's kind of starting to come together now. And so we're just gonna keep going until it gets into, it comes all nice together, and then we're going to roll it out and knead it for like 30 minutes. Or no, that's way too long, like 8 minutes, and then let it rest for like 30. So, hang on. Now, we are at one of my favorite parts when making any sort of dough. It's the kneading process. As we see, kneading is essentially just taking the dough, stretching it with the palm of your hand, and then bringing it back to you. It can be a little tedious. However, I like this because it's just, like I said, it's just really the dough just coming together. And right now you are building up the gluten strands in your flour or in your dough mixture, so that this will be elastic and stretchy and all together something really good. So in 6 minutes, we're gonna wrap this up in plastic and let it rest for 30 minutes. So we are back. I made another set of dough just because it said that that was gonna make like appetizer servings, and that don't really work around my house. So it says wrap the dough up and let it sit for 30 minutes. And as stated, while you're doing this, you are really letting your gluten form, you're letting the dough relax. This is like one of my favorite things to make, honestly. I love making homemade ravioli, spaghetti, things like that. Because I mean, to be honest, once you've had it fresh, you never really want to go back to, you know, the pre-made dry stuff. So here we are. And I mean, to be honest, if you've never had fresh pasta, you really don't know what you're missing. I promise you, it is hella delicious. So we're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna finish wrapping this up, and then we're gonna let it sit for 30 minutes. I'll be back. We are back. So now I am making the filling. Gonna chop up these onions to put it in that hot ass oil you hear behind me. This is going to be absolutely amazing when I get done. I'm gonna show y'all why. Don't mind my knife skills. So now that my onions are in the pan going, I'm going to take my impossible meat and throw it into the pan. I don't even know why I'm acting like I can just open this. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I usually just cut it open anyway. This is so stupid. The heck? See, it's time to get into cutting the hand off. Trying to get into your shit, because you so... I'm going to vacuum shit until nobody can open it. What's up, bro? Shit, I want my shit fresh, but I don't want to pop the goddamn package. Anyway. Into the pot that goes. Now, this other pot here has marinara sauce that I'm going to put the top on because it is simmering everywhere and popping all over my stove. I don't like that. Okay, so now that's done. Let me wipe my stove down because I cannot cook in a dirty, I cannot cook in a dirty environment. I gotta, you know, and I understand everybody's different, but I'm one of those people. I clean as I go. So, in this pot, we just have some onions that I have softened and then letting the meat cook. I'm going to season this as I go and then add in the cilantro. And while I'm letting the, I don't know, I think I'll just cook it and then let it cool. So, put it back. Now, while I have meat cooking, I continuously deglaze the pan with vegetable stock. You can do as you please when it comes to how you deglaze your pan, if you deglaze your pan. But I would suggest you do because all that on the bottom is flavor. So yeah, so you just move it around in there till it's like turning pink. I have used salt, pepper, garlic powder, sazon, and of course, I say the vegetable stock that you just saw me putting in here to deglaze the pan. Did I say garlic powder? Yeah, I think I said garlic powder. But yeah, and just let it cook. And then for me, when I get done, because I'm adding other stuff in here, I'm going to take a little bit of the cilantro and put it in here and grind it up to add a little bit of extra flavor to it. Okay. Then I also have some mushrooms in the blender. I'm going to blend up with this to make it a little bit more filling. Now, once I've added capa to the pan or to the blender and done it, this is what it looks like. Finished product. I'm gonna let this cool a little bit while I do the rest of the stuff for the ravioli. The sauce has 11 minutes left. It smells good. This is one of my most favorite things that I have in my kitchen. It is a pasta sheeter. It allows you to sheet your pasta. So with each of these little dough balls that we made, we're going to take each of these and cut it into fourths. And then we're going to slowly work our pasta through. Oh my God, you see how wonderful. Oh, it's going to be great. I usually have a sharper knife for this, honestly, but yeah, I'm trying to get this part of it done so I don't have to worry about it. So this is our half, and then this is our fourth. And then we take this piece and wrap it right back up in here because we don't want to lose any of that wonderful moisture and softness that we have built up in our dough. And then we're going to take this. I personally am going to flour it a little bit just so it won't get stuck in here. So I just get this down to an onion out of here. And then I would either roll this out or do it with your hands a little bit, just so you can make sure that it's going to stretch. Now, when you first start this, you're going to want to put it on a 6 or a 7. I actually have it at a 6 right now, I do believe. And then little by little, as I continue to crank it out, you see it will work better if I had the little holder thing on it, but I don't right now. I really do need to because it's going to mess up how my dough is coming out. But this is just the first pass. So we do this about like 2-3 more times, and then we get the appropriate length and thinness of the dough that we need for the ravioli. Let me get my clamp this down, and then you guys are just gonna be with me through the whole entire thing. This is the second pass with the 6 or 7, and now I can actually start bringing it to smaller ones. So now I have it on a 3. And you're gonna see how much thinner this comes out than what it did when it went in. And oh, this thing is just, oh, it frustrates me. My clamp has come off. It gets hard to try to maneuver this thing without the clamp, because it just, Jesus, it does what it wants. And it's so fucking frustrating. Come on. Oh, goddamn, man. I'm do it one more time. This is boy, something tells me this is gonna frustrate the fuck out of me. But you want to get it thin enough to where you can see your hand through it. So we are right about there, honestly. So then I take the other piece. Now keep in mind, remember when we started, this was a whole connected piece, and I just took it and cut it in half after I rolled it out. So there we go. These are our first 2 sheets of pasta. Okay, so the mixture is cool enough for me to use it and not, you know, be burning myself up. So I may have put it in there just a little bit too long because it may have actually like froze a little bit. But I'd rather have it kind of cold and not have it cold at all. So I'm just literally gonna take just enough to fill it with. And that's something like I had to learn that the first time when I was doing these. You can fill them up too much. And when you do, it's not a good thing. But essentially, you take your filling like so, and then you lay the other one on top. And then as you pinch it off, these are your raviolis. So, I'm gonna build these out and just show you. Okay. So now that we have them how we want them, I take my little fork. Hang on one second. There's a lot of ways to cut your pasta. I just like to be like super precise with it. Oh Jesus, not this stupid thing's gonna get in my way. There we go. And this just makes sure that they're cut the way they're supposed to be, and you don't have to spend 89 years cutting your darn tubing pasta. So with that, we just take a little bitty fork there, and we're gonna go around and we're just gonna crimp it. And we're gonna make sure that it's closed, because otherwise we'll have some real open pasta. And nobody likes that. Our first ravioli, and then you just continue until you have all your ravioli done. We're going to put them in the breadcrumbs and everything all together, because after you do that, they go into the